Are you trying to figure out how to get cheap workers' comp insurance? Everyone wants to figure out ways to save money on their workers' comp policy. Why spend extra money if you don't have to? Hey, I'm Sari from Kickstand Insurance. Let's talk about different ways that you can get cheap workers' comp insurance. But first, a word of caution. In the most simplistic form, workers' comp insurance is based on what you pay your employees and what they're doing. Unlike other types of insurance, where you just buy a policy and it goes till the end date, workers' comp insurance has an audit at the end of the policy. That means someone will either call or come down to your business to make sure that everything was set up correctly. If they find that something was wrong, either payroll to employees or subcontractors wasn't accounted for, or the type of work they do is classified incorrectly, there will be additional premium due for the difference. So remember, looks can be deceiving. Make sure that the policy that looks the cheapest is not missing critical information, because then you'll have to pay it at the end of the policy, and then it's not really the cheapest. Affordable workers' comp has two levels. We're going to talk about the common mistakes that cost you money and things you can do to lower the cost of your policy. Number one, classify your workers correctly. Workers' comp is based on the premise that people who do riskier jobs are more likely to get hurt, and therefore their insurance costs more. There is a list of over 500 job roles for businesses and employees. Each role is assigned a certain rate that is used to calculate premium. Within each industry, there can also be different roles for various jobs if the level of risk varies greatly. For example, a janitorial business can have employees that do a wide variety of roles. There can be a secretary or two, and some teams that specialize in residential and teams for commercial cleaning. There can be a warehouse manager who oversees the cleaning machines and orders supplies, a sales team that goes down and estimates jobs, even a mechanic that's in charge of maintaining the expensive cleaning machines. Each type of role would have a different level of risk and would cost a different amount. Commercial cleaners, who are class code 9014, are cheaper than residential cleaners, who are class code 0917, but the cheapest of all of them by far is the secretary, who is class code 8810. So, if all the employees got lumped together as residential cleaners, the policy would be much more expensive than it had to be. So, the first thing to check for your affordable workers' comp policy is that your employees are assigned to the right role and class code. Here's your next tip. Number 2, estimate your payroll as accurately as you can. Next, let's discuss something really weird about workers' comp insurance. The insurance company wants you to take a really good guess on what you're going to pay your employees in the next 12 months. Anyone have a crystal ball they can share? But in all honesty, they want you to sit down and figure out how many employees you'll have, what they're going to do, and how much you're going to pay them. If you're very cautious and err on the side of less, your policy will be cheaper. That is, until audit. Remember, they will send someone to come check on you, and if you paid your employees more than you estimated, they will send you a bill for the difference. So while it may seem that you found the cheapest workers' comp policy, double check that the payroll they used makes sense. Here's another point under payroll. Verify that you need to include all the people that you're including. A business can have many types of people working for it. Full-time employees, part-time employees, independent contractors, subcontractors, and so on. Find out exactly who has to be on your policy and take off the people who don't. That will save you money. Another thing to note here is that owners of the business can be included in the policy, but are usually not required to. Their health insurance will usually cover any injuries, and they won't sue themselves, so they don't need that protection. If you included the owner, a quick way to save money would be to take them off the policy. Yay! Instant savings. If you want to keep them in the policy, just make sure you don't count them twice. Once as an owner and once as an employee. That would be paying for the owner and an additional employee when really it's one and the same and you only have to count for them once. That's how to check your policy for the most common mistakes to make sure you're getting the most affordable policy for your business. Here are some additional ways that you can lower the cost of your workers' comp premium. Be forewarned that some of them require upfront work on your part, but it will pay off in the long run when you lower your premium costs year after year. 1. Have a safety program. Companies that have a formal safety program are less likely to have injuries on the job because they put such a strong emphasis on safety. Therefore, insurance companies will give a slight discount to companies with a formal safety plan. This is a written plan and can include daily or monthly meetings, toolbox meetings, and review of OSHA protocols. 2. return to work programs. A return to work program is meant to help ease the injured worker back into the workplace. Even if they can't do their regular job and have some restrictions in place, studies have shown that people who return to work in some capacity will recover faster and return to their full workload sooner, thus reducing the expense for the workers' comp insurance company. It also helps the business because even though they're missing an employee in one area, they get another pair of hands in another area to help juggle everything. 3. Drug and alcohol-free workplace programs. Studies have shown that people are as much as 5 times more likely to hurt themselves when high or drunk on the job. Crazy how high it is, isn't it? Therefore, the insurance company will give you a discount if you have a drug and alcohol-free program at your business. This typically includes a written policy and randomized testing. Number 4. Lower your experience modification rate. So not only will claims cost the insurance company money, over time, they will increase your premiums as well. Any business that is 4 years or older and meets some other requirements is assigned an experience modification rate, also known as the XMOD. This basically compares you to your industry's average rate of claims. It shows if you have more than your industry or less than your industry's average. If you have more claims, it will increase your premium because you seem to be more prone to having injuries than your industry. However, if you have less claims, the insurance company will give you a discount. This can make a difference to your premiums. So really pay attention to safety and do everything you can to avoid a situation where employees could get hurt. Number 5, dividends. In some states, there is a dividend program. This essentially gives you money back at the end of your policy if you have less than expected number of claims. Insurance companies are willing to give you a percentage of the premium back as a way to incentivize you to prioritize safety. There are many insurance agencies that offer online quotes. Some will even let you buy a policy instantly. In our experience, 2 out of 3 of all online quotes are filled out inaccurately. That means you're not getting proper coverage and you'll get a nasty surprise bill at audit. As such, please be very cautious when using instant software to purchase a workers' comp policy. Remember, appearances can be deceiving. If you want an insurance agent to double check your numbers and see if there's any other ways that you can be saving money, head to kickstandinsurance.com and get started with a free, no obligation instant quote, and we'll reach out to you shortly. Good luck! Remember to like and subscribe for more business and insurance tips. See you next time!